Have you ever seen a wolf second guess its steps in the forest? It doesn't. It moves with certainty. Not because it's accompanied, but because it belongs there. Confidence doesn't need an audience. That same energy flows through those who choose a different rhythm in life. People might label you as distant, intense, maybe even too quiet. But the truth is, your direction isn't shaped by where you've been. It's shaped by what you're becoming. Most can't sit still in silence. They hunger for reactions, for constant feedback, for signs they're seeing. But there's a different kind of power being forged far from the noise, within those who train in silence. The ones shaping their bodies, sharpening their minds, and aligning their spirits when nobody's watching. Walking alone doesn't mean you've been left behind. It means you've stopped waiting for the world to catch up. You're not avoiding people, you're moving beyond distractions. You're not chasing comfort, you're searching for something sharper. And clarity like that only rises when everything else falls away. When you're by yourself, there's nowhere to hide. You're sitting with your own thoughts, facing truths others avoid, getting real about your vision. That's where the real change begins. So if you find yourself alone right now, don't freeze. Don't pull back. You're not off track. You're ahead of the curve. Crowds move in packs. Leaders, they're refined in isolation. So if you've chosen a path few understand, if you're pushing forward in the quiet, hit that subscribe button and let the world know you're still here. The strong ones haven't disappeared. They're simply focused. Most see solitude as something to escape. They feel empty without the presence of others. But real growth doesn't happen in full rooms. It happens in empty spaces. Not physical wilderness, but the mental and emotional terrain where few dare to walk. That space where no one applauds. No one asks how you're doing. No one even notices your effort. That's where real warriors are shaped. Picture that lone wolf. It doesn't become fierce inside a crowd. It becomes fierce when it's cold, alone, and chasing survival. Every movement is intentional. Every decision is critical. When there's no safety net, you either sharpen or you fade. That's the cost of rising alone. See, the wilderness won't comfort you. It will reveal you. It strips off the layers that never mattered and brings you face to face with your true self. When all that's left is your determination and your direction, that's when you start hearing your real voice. That's when you realize strength was never in the applause. It was always in the journey. Most want to skip the season. They want the trophy without the test. They hope for confidence without challenge. But that confidence, it's earned during the hours no one sees. The ones you didn't broadcast. The ones you didn't get credit for. That kind of strength can't be handed over. It can't be copied. It's something you carve out in silence, alone. In that space, you build a discipline no one had to teach you because you lived it. You begin honoring the commitments you make to yourself. You rise when you said you would. You put in the work when no one's there to cheer you on. You study, train, and improve without needing applause. That's what solitude offers you. A version of yourself that's unfiltered, focused, and forged through effort. So the next time you feel lost in unfamiliar territory, keep this in mind. Solitude isn't there to crush you. It's shaping you. That's where resilience is born. That's where you earn your edge. Many shy away from being alone. They mistake it for weakness or punishment. But in reality, separation isn't your downfall, it's your strength. When you use it wisely, it becomes your greatest asset because it strips away all the noise. You stop chasing compliments. You stop waiting for someone to notice. And you begin to concentrate on what actually counts. Picture the lone wolf. It's not whining about its solitude. It's not searching for approval or guidance. It stays alert, locked in, because its survival depends on it. Growth depends on it. That wolf doesn't waste time seeking permission from the pack. It keeps moving, it hones its senses, and it grows stronger day by day through the silence. That's the power of isolation. It clears the fog. You begin to recognize where your time was draining. You become aware of the energy you gave away to people who didn't value it. You finally see how much of your path was steered by outside opinions, social metrics, and shallow encouragement. But in the stillness, when it's only you, those distractions fade, and your true voice emerges, not the one molded by society, the voice that's always been inside you. Most never connect with that voice because they're never quiet long enough. They always need a screen, a sound, a distraction. But that's just a mask, because the minute it all goes quiet, reality walks in. And while that reality might not always be easy, it's necessary. Solitude forces development. It demands strength of mind. There's no one to rescue you, no one to hand you the answers. It's just you and your path. That kind of pressure, that's what creates strength. That's where leaders are born. You stop begging for inspiration because routine becomes your drive. You stop questioning your value because you witness what you can accomplish alone. People won't get why you go missing. They'll whisper that you've changed. They'll wonder what's wrong, but they don't understand what it means to refine yourself in silence. They haven't seen the transformation that happens away from the noise. That's the turning point. That's where growth begins. So don't avoid solitude. Embrace it, to turn it into your advantage. Because while they're making noise, you're mastering your craft. While they're wasting time, you're becoming unshakable. That's the power of solitude. It shapes you into someone they never expected. When you start walking your path alone, your senses adjust. The noise around you, opinions, gossip, hollow praise, empty criticism, starts to blur into the background. Eventually you see it for what it is, distraction. And you stop tuning in, not because you think you're above others, but because your focus has shifted. You've matured beyond the chaos. When you begin to pursue something meaningful, something that touches your core, shallow talk loses its grip on you. You no longer exhaust yourself trying to explain your vision to those who can't see beyond their own limited view. Why? Because they're not meant to walk this road with you. They're on the sidelines, observing while you're moving forward. That's not arrogance, it's transformation. You stop chasing applause. You stop needing approval. You begin to guard your peace like treasure, because it is. Anyone who disrupts that peace with drama, confusion, or doubt, you let them go. Not out of anger, but from clarity. You've learned that not every voice deserves space in your mind. The world praises noise. It often uplifts those who shout the loudest. But the ones who are truly focused, who are quietly building something lasting, understand the value of moving silently. They don't need to broadcast their every step. They don't crave attention. They build in the background and let progress speak for itself. As you grow, your circle shrinks. Life becomes more intentional, and your perspective, it sharpens like never before. You stop chasing popularity and start valuing integrity. You no longer ask, do they approve of me? Instead, you ask, am I proud of who I'm becoming? That shift in thinking marks real growth. And yes, some people won't like the evolved version of you. They'll long for the person you used to be, the one who needed their validation, laughed at every joke, and stayed stuck in the same space. But you've changed. You've moved beyond that. Growth demands progress, and progress makes comfort zones feel tight. So if you find yourself uninterested in surface level talk, tired of small-minded thinking, and unmoved by the urge to impress, don't panic. You're not cold, you're elevating. You're not distant, you're focused. You've grown past the noise. Now your steps are purposeful. And this kind of journey, it doesn't shout. It doesn't need to. It simply stays true. Once you begin walking alone, the flow lifts. What once distracted you no longer holds power. The need to impress, the pressure to blend in, the fear of missing out, it fades. And in that quiet, your real clarity rises. Your vision strengthens. Your purpose becomes clear. You're no longer distracted by what everyone else is chasing. Your eyes aren't wandering anymore. They're locked on what's ahead. That's the power of silence. It sharpens your focus, unfiltered and uninterrupted. With that kind of clarity, your ambitions begin to take shape. Your values realign, and your path becomes unmistakably clear. Most people never hear themselves think. Their minds are crowded, endless alerts, empty chatter, opinions flying in from all directions. But once you step back into stillness, once you allow solitude to settle in, all that noise begins to fade. That's when the real questions start to rise. What do I truly want? Who am I evolving into? What's my purpose in all this? The answers rarely arrive overnight. Sometimes that may take days, weeks, maybe even longer. But there's something powerful in that waiting. In the quiet, you gain endurance. You stop chasing time. You quit measuring your pace against others. Instead, you build something that's entirely your own, your pace, your route, your purpose. The lone wolf doesn't act out of desperation. It moves with accuracy. That's the mindset to develop. Each move calculated, each effort meaningful. No more wasting energy on distractions. No more pouring yourself into proving anything to people who are never paying attention. You save your strength for what truly counts. Silence also reveals people's intentions. When your words become fewer, you notice who stays close. When you stop showing up for everyone else, you see who fades away. And that in itself is a blessing, because clarity isn't limited to dreams. It reaches into your relationships too. It shows you who nurtures peace and who thrives on chaos. Let silence show you. If this season feels quiet, don't fear it. That stillness isn't empty. It's rich with insight. Let it refine you. Let it lead you. Because the ones who shape the future aren't always loud. They're the ones who kept their focus when no one was cheering them on. Struggle is something people often resist. Discomfort, failure, hardship. They run from it all. But growth doesn't come from smooth roads. It's born in the pressure, the uncertainty, the moments that try to break you. Think of the lone wolf again. It doesn't grow resilient from ease. It grows strong because it faces everything alone. The biting cold, the long nights, the hunger, the pursuit. There's no applause, no comfort, but through every test, it gains strength. Through every trial, it becomes more aware. It doesn't retreat from hardship. It adapts and rises through it. That's how growth happens. You weren't made to run from challenges. You were made to confront them. You're meant to use every obstacle as a stepping stone. Life will throw hurdles your way. No doubt, people will question your abilities. Failure will show up uninvited. Some days, it'll feel like you're stuck on a treadmill, moving but going nowhere. But those exact moments, that's where your strength is forged. Those trials aren't setbacks. They're the sharpening stone for your potential. They press you to go beyond your limits, to uncover a deeper strength you didn't realize you carried. When the weight feels unbearable, that's when your inner fire rises. That's when you learn how much you're truly capable of handling. You stop leaning on excuses and start leaning on determination. You stop hoping for smoother roads and start figuring out how to climb the rough terrain. Society might suggest you shy away from discomfort. It might tell you to play it safe. But ease never leads to excellence. It leads to being stuck in the middle. Real strength is formed in the middle of the storm. It's born in sweat and pain, in the quiet moments when you feel like walking away, but decide to stand your ground. That's where transformation takes root. So if you're walking through something difficult right now, don't retreat, don't hide. Confront it, because that experience is shaping you into who you were meant to be. That struggle is carving out the endurance to keep pushing when others quit. It's what will set you apart from the ordinary. Many go through life following a script written by others. They let their environment, their relationships, or the opinions of strangers dictate who they are. They silence their own voice in favor of someone else's expectations. But here's the truth, only you can determine who you are. Think of the lone wolf. It doesn't ask for a seat at anyone's table. It doesn't seek validation. It simply lives with clarity and confidence in its purpose. It doesn't bend to fit its surroundings. It holds steady, grounded in who it is. You need that same kind of self-command. You weren't made to blend in. You weren't made to mimic someone else's version of success. The moment you allow others to shape your identity is the moment you give away your power. You let someone else hold the compass to your life, and they'll take you somewhere you never meant to go. But when you define your own identity, when you choose your direction and values with conviction, everything changes. You reclaim ownership. You stop chasing approval and start building from within. And that inner foundation becomes unshakable. You're no longer swayed by praise or discouraged by criticism. You can hear feedback without letting it rewrite your sense of worth. Opinions remain opinions. Your truth remains solid. With that foundation, negativity loses its grip. Doubt doesn't derail you. The lone wolf doesn't need applause. It already knows its strength. It doesn't wait for recognition. It keeps moving forward, guided by instinct and purpose. This is your moment. Believe in who you are. Let your identity be shaped by the truth you carry within, not the opinions of others. You are the storyteller of your journey, and no one else gets to hold the pen. Take hold of your direction. Your decisions, your purpose, and your essence belong to you. It's your road to walk, even if it means walking alone. You don't need applause to recognize your strength. Deep down, you've always known what you're capable of. If you're ready to own your path, to stand tall as a lone force, and to craft your own destiny, then take the next step. Tap into quiet determination. Let your progress make the noise. If you feel that pull towards something greater, something personal and powerful, then give this video a like and hit subscribe to walk alongside others who refuse to be defined by anyone else. Choosing solitude isn't weakness. It's the birthplace of real power. Keep going. Keep shaping. In time, the world will see what you've built. Thank you for watching. Your presence here matters. If this message spoke to your spirit, consider sharing it. And remember, your strength shines brightest when you move with purpose. Keep rising.